Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to your reveals. My name is Lisa Lyle. This is my space here on YouTube. Thank you for all your likes, comments, and subscribes. They mean so much. My spaces on social media are Facebook and Instagram, Wisdom of the Heart. So I was guided to do something a little different today, and these messages are intended to support you through this current Mercury retrograde that we're in. So we have, it's the 18th now of February, so Mercury went retrograde on the 17th and will be retrograde until March the 10th. So generally, Mercury retrograde is a time we've all heard, don't sign contracts, communication can break down. Personally, I feel like Mercury retrograde is always a perfect opportunity for us to do some deeper inner exploration, to do some reflection, and perhaps a little bit of an inventory, what's working in our lives and what perhaps would be better left by the wayside, so to speak. So I posted, and you'll see at the beginning of this video, there's an image, and that image is of your choices. So it's going to be left, middle, or right. And as I mentioned, these messages are intended to support you during this Mercury retrograde and to really support you in a way that you can get the most out of Mercury being retrograde and to have the most positive and uplifting experience, really moving back into our power. Let's move away from what we have been told is the general rule for Mercury retrograde, and let's each go into our own heart space and discern where the real power in this transition, if you will, resides for each of us. So this was the image that you would likely see, what you would have seen. I haven't looked at the cards yet, so I don't want to give them away to myself. So this is for those of you who were guided to the left pile. And I'm going to just begin sharing the cards as I was guided to draw them. So we're going to begin with I believe it's the Spirit Animal Oracle. And so for those of you guided to the left pile, here's your message. The Scarab Beetle Spirit, number 52. And immediately when I connect with the energy of the Scarab Beetle, I connect with ancient Egypt and the energy of Isis. So I really feel for those of you guided to this pile, your message is, first of all, about the divine feminine rising within you, and more importantly, the divine mother rising within you. So I feel that over the coming 3.5 weeks for you, left pile, it's really going to be about tuning into, this is a number 52, so 5 plus 2 is 7. This really speaks about your physical body, and I feel like your physical body is going to be speaking to you, and perhaps speaking to you quite loudly, because I feel that there is a call for you to slow down, to reel it in, so to speak, to really be within your experience. And if you're someone who has been experiencing a lot of physical symptoms, or, just general malaise and not feeling well, this message is really, really important for you. Magic works through you. And a part of that magic is the body's ability to get our attention through, again, it's the physical aches and pains, and sometimes it's the confusion of the mental body. And so I really feel it's time for you to slow down and tune in a little bit to what's actually going on in your body, because if you're not feeling good in your physical body, chances are your experience in the day-to-day is going to be almost like, I'm hearing drudgery, like, oh, this again, or, everything just feels really mundane. I feel like what's being asked of you is to get to the root of why you're feeling such malaise or feeling just such a lack of motivation, and to take some time over the next 3 weeks. It's really about reflection, and perhaps beginning at the time when you connect with this message, creating space every day for journaling, or just creating space. It doesn't have to be anything formal for that reflection, and perhaps jotting down what's coming up. I feel like a big part of Mercury retrograde is about communication, and sometimes that communication is how we're speaking to ourselves. Are our words, is the narrative in our head, is the dialogue in our head actually uplifting and affirming, or is it, limiting and depressive? So pay attention to what's going on. I'm really drawn by all the colors here in on the iridescence of the wings of the scarab beetle. And I also see an owl in there. So I'm really feeling like this is a time for you to tune into that inner wisdom. And what I'm seeing and feeling is like fine tuning. You are a receiver. And are you open to receive, or is your channel, is there a lot of static and you're not getting really clear reception? Perhaps it's time, perhaps you would be well served in doing a bit of a cleanse at this time, whether it's just, upping your intake of water, upping your intake of leafy greens, and a more whole food diet, if you will. I don't like saying diet. Just a more whole food lifestyle, incorporating more of this so that it supports the vitality in your physical body, particularly if you've been feeling low. I also feel that this is a time of healing. And, if you have been feeling unrest and not very peaceful, this is an opportunity to redirect, to refocus your attention, and to refocus your attention toward your heart space and your well-being. And when we're speaking well-being, we're speaking of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. The next card out for you, oh, perfect, is this. I love this card, and this message comes from Archangel Michael, and this is Gateway 3, Evolution, and it's a number 38, and 3 plus 8 comes to 11. You really are here on a path of mastery. Each and every one of us is truly. We were born, we incarnated into this lifetime, this timeline, in order to rise from the density that has been the experience of the human collective for a couple thousand years now. And now we're rising. You are called to remember that you are the gateway. And for me, this Gateway 3 really speaks about the gateway, you being the gateway through the acknowledgement of the sacred trinity within, the divine feminine, divine masculine, divine child energy, or mother, father, child, mother, father, God energy. I'm really rising up. I feel and I'm hearing that working with some citrine this month, particularly if you are one who tends to be like a half glass full, kind of like more of a pessimist than an optimist. And you may show yourself out there as very optimistic, and yet the pessimism, the pessimist really comes out in your self-talk. So you are the gateway, and working with citrine, particularly if you've got more of that negative dialogue, that negative narrative playing over and over in your mental body, the citrine, wearing it down by your solar plexus. And so that really anytime you get in this headspace, really starting to bring your awareness to what's going on, and to bring that energy down, to breathe into your belly, to really breathe in to the power center within yourself, because you are being supported and you are here on an evolutionary journey, and your evolutionary journey didn't begin when you first came into this incarnation, and it doesn't end when the physical body dies. It continues beyond both of those really defined points in time, the date of your birth and the date of your death of the physical form. You exist well beyond that, and the work that you are doing here now supports that evolution of your eternal soul. So the next two cards are truly higher self guidance coming through for you, and we're going to get right to, oh, this is beautiful. And what's even more beautiful, so this is a time of fallow, number 45, which is a 9. And so 9 speaks about completion, a 9-year cycle. 9 is the last of the single digit numbers, and then we move up from there. And I really feel for you, this time of fallow, what it's really asking for again is for you to step back. So what I'm really guided to on this card today is the stream of, we'll say, breath coming from the mouth of this goddess. And I really feel like you're being asked to, it is this whole step back. And I do feel like you're being asked to, it's almost like to, for 21 days, they say it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. I'm hearing commit to yourself for the next 21 days so that you can more clearly, because it's without a doubt, you are always receiving guidance. You are always connected. Your higher self is always there. Your guides, your angels are always there. Animal messengers, all kinds. There's all kinds of resources and support at your disposal. At your disposal. Like, it's right there. And I feel like this time it's this inner reflection, this 21-day period is really going to support clarity and coming, so that your own creative powers begin to flow through you in really positive ways. Because our creative powers are always flowing and always really molding and building and creating our experience, whether we view that experience as negative or positive. It's always we're either motivated through trusting the process and our journey, or we are doubting the process. We are doubting our ability to achieve or manifest or accomplish something without even realizing that we already do that with every thought, with every word, with every action that we take. The message on this card says, creative manifestation occurs more easily when I have nurtured myself and honored my time of fallow. So I believe this Mercury retrograde for you is this time of fallow, this time of the inner journey, the inner reflection, the master remembering that they are the gateway, the portal of light. And this final message from your higher self, and I want to say the eternal beloved, is within each of us there is yin and yang, feminine and masculine, positive and passive and active. To have inner harmony, strive to balance all aspects of who you are. To align with your true nature, love, accept, and embrace yourself totally and completely. You are, in all points in time, in all moments in time, you are worthy and deserving of love, because at your core's essence, that is what you are. So I trust these messages have resonated with and support those of you who were guided to the left pile. For those guided to the middle, this is the heart card you would have seen on the top of that image. And let's get right into your message. First, from the animal. Oh, this is so beautiful. From the Animal Spirit Oracle, you have Turkey Spirit. And again, same as the ones guided to the left pile, we have a 7 here. Turkey Spirit speaks about give with gratitude and grace. And for me, that's really like giving without an expectation of what is coming back. When we give from our heart space, it's not about keeping score and, oh, look how much I do. Look how much, I give. Because it's almost what I'm hearing and feeling is it's a block to your universal abundance, to the abundance that the universe would like to bring through and flow through your entire experience. So for you, those of you guided to the middle card, we'll call you middle of the road. I really feel like this Mercury retrograde, beginning a gratitude journal, if you don't already have that practice, beginning a gratitude journal and every day taking some time, perhaps to bookend your day, morning and night, to write down some things that you're grateful for, and it would be really interesting to do that in the morning when you wake up, a little bit of quiet time with your coffee or tea and breakfast, and just journaling about what you are grateful for in that moment. And then going throughout your day, and as evening comes and you're beginning to settle and get into that nighttime routine, sitting once again with a nice cup of herbal tea or something and writing, 3 things that happened on that day that you are grateful for. Because and when you give, when you share, anything you do to align it with the energy of your heart, with no expectation of, return. What I'm also feeling with this, first of all, I pointed out the number at the beginning here, at the 7. Pay attention to your physical body this month. How are you feeling? If you're tired, rest. If you're thirsty, have a drink. If you're feeling like you need to go for a jog or a run, do that. Really listen to your body, because there is this real sense that our bodies want to get moving. And when we're not moving and when we're not supporting our body as it requires to remain vital and healthy, then our body kind of begins to, it's like, if you're someone that's been a gym rat, you've loved the gym and you go, and then you stop, you kind of like stop, and now you're not doing anything. It's like the muscles kind of get lazy. And, our physical well-being really is important for everything, like our emotional, spiritual, and our ability to navigate our emotional and mental energy is really powered through the physical body. It's funny because my voice is just changing color here, and I am really drawn to the throat chakra of this turkey. And yet when I connect with the throat, I'm really drawn to the roots. So are you feeling grounded, or are you feeling a little wobbly? Are you feeling a little thrown off, like out of balance? Because this is really speaking to me about a need for grounding, a need to get back into your comfort zone is what I'm hearing. It feels like you have consciously or unconsciously been wobbled. You've wobbled out of your comfort zone. And this is really speaking about getting back to your comfort zone, getting back into your own heart. What is important for you? What matters to you? What helps you to feel gracious? So next we have, this is really interesting. So next we have Mercurus, and this, we're in Mercury Retrograde, and these are messages to support Mercury Retrograde. Interesting that you get this card after all I was really drawn to on this card is the red here. then we have the red here. And what it feels like, what I'm connecting with these two is if you have been giving and keeping a tally and expecting like, oh my gosh, like I give so much and I'm hardly getting anything in return, full stop to what wants to come to you. Yet, and also within that, you are creating, like, you're getting resentful. And so what's going to come up is like these angry outbursts. And so I feel like, if you find as you move through Mercury retro, so we're from February 17th to March 10th, pay attention to what's going on inside of you at this time. Like, do you feel like you're ready to explode? Do you want to, like, are you looking to have a big confrontation with someone? And, perhaps there are truths that need to be spoken. Perhaps there are conversations that need to be had. And yet, are you able to approach said conversations or situations from your heart and not from your emotions? Like, not from, the unresolved emotional body, the pain body? Are you able to communicate peacefully and to communicate your truth in a way where it's heard and felt by others? Not everybody's going to align with your truth or, agree with it necessarily, and that's fine. One thing that's really important for all of us is to keep an open mind, is what I'm hearing. Keep an open mind, and also to keep our hearts open. We don't all have to fall in line and think the same way. I mean, this is what, perhaps some governing body of this planet would like us to believe, and yet that is not what we're here for. We are here to align with our highest light, our God consciousness, and to bring that into every aspect of our life here in human form. And so just be mindful. If you're feeling volatile, if you're feeling heated up, perhaps it's time, for some more healing. What's at the root of your anger? And don't put it on other people, because we can always say, we can often say, oh, well, like that person did this or that person did that. No, this is about personal, sovereign responsibility, and you are responsible for your reactions. And I'm hearing, this Mercury retrograde is not about reacting. It is about reflecting and then responding. You don't want to react, and particularly if you react from an angry place, what is the ripple effect of that? Because it will come back. It will come back into your experience. So now from your higher self, number 5, and I should mention, and so now you've got 2 5s here, because this is a 23, which is 5, and here we have 5 again, and this is ageless beauty. And 5 is the number of change. And so this, there feels like a part of the change is shifting to support your shift from this scarcity mindset, this lack mindset, this, if I give this, I have to get this in return. That mindset, some changes need to be made. And very likely changes in the way you communicate with others. And especially if you're finding a lot of there's a lot of friction in a lot of different relationships that you have in your life. This really speaks about you taking this time to see your part and taking this time to connect with your heart and see your own beauty, the beauty of your heart. Because this card feels so beautiful. This card feels very in tune with the angelic realms. It feels very calm and peaceful. It feels very open to receive the guidance that source, the universal source, is sending, and that through the ability to listen to that inner voice through the ability to connect with your angels, your guides, your source. With that ability, there's so much beautiful growth that takes place. And growth is not, sometimes, yes, growth happens overnight. Lasting growth, like the garden that comes to life in spring and blooms all summer to the fall, that takes time. And it takes nurturing, right? It takes the nurturing of the rose, let's just say rose here, or the garden. We need to nurture our garden. You are the garden. This is the garden. The ageless beauty is the garden within you. And this is the garden of your eternal soul. Your eternal soul really came to nurture your beautiful garden in this life, and listen. And the more you stop talking, the more you don't react, the more clearly you are going to be able to hear and receive that higher guidance that's always coming towards you, streaming towards you, flowing through you. The message on this card says, with grace, dignity, and strength, I grow into a unique texture of my feminine soul. So there is this theme for all of the messages, like this mothering energy, really calling, awakening the mother within to really support you at this time, and viewing yourself like, how would a mother, if you were a young child, what would you offer to the young child that is you, that would support you in feeling more love, in feeling more joy, in feeling more freedom to just be who you are. It's all about your heart, beautiful people, all about your heart. And it says, a smile fills your heart with longing. Through the magnetism of divine love, you merge with another, and love becomes an all-embracing thought. By a touch, a word, or a glance, love heals, unites, transforms, and transfigures all things. This is your season of love, a time of positive transformation, a time of happiness. And I really feel that merging, that divine love, is like the merging of all aspects of you right here and now within your physical form. So I trust that those messages have helped you, my middle of the road folks. Don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay, next up, for those of you who were guided to the pile on the right, here is your spirit, animal spirit guidance, turtle spirit. And immediately, as soon as I saw turtle, I heard slow and steady wins the race. I'm really drawn to the number, which is 62. 6 plus 2 is 8. This is a message from your eternal soul as eternally connected to source. And it's telling, it says on here, slow and steady wins the race. That's hilarious. It's saying to you that to stay the course of your heart, you are on the right path. And it isn't a race. It isn't a race. It's like everyone at their own pace. And if you are doing well, I feel there's this call that says stop. It's like slow down. And it makes sense with Mercury Retrograde. Slow down a little. Everybody slow down, regroup, reassess, and refocus based on what we find during that process. Life isn't a race, and you, as I've said before, it is about your evolution, the evolutionary path of your eternal soul. And we're all at various levels of our soul's evolution through time and space, beyond time and space. So, and just I keep hearing, be patient with yourself. I do feel like there's a lot of healing taking place for you at this time. And the healing really comes through your acceptance and acknowledgement of your truth, which may not be, someone else's truth. This is about you and your experience and navigating your experience, navigating your emotions. And because this is feels like a time of deep healing for you, no doubt you are moving through a full range of emotions. So be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself. Really nurture yourself at this time. And by making sure you're getting enough rest, by making sure you're well hydrated, by making sure you're taking some time just for yourself each and every day, just to breathe, just just no commitments, no deadlines, no timelines, just where you have nothing to do. Create that space for you. No excuses. I understand everybody's busy. We're all busy. We're all so busy. This is not about, I'm just going to turn that off. This is more about you coming home to you and really committing to yourself, the path of devotion and dedication, and walking that with confidence, knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be, that everything is unfolding perfectly, and there's no need to hurry or race or rush anything. Trust your process. Elohim, I love this, and the number of this card is perfect. Elohim, Pathways of Light, and it's number 34. So you've got the 7 too. Every single group had the 7. This Mercury retrograde is really asking all of us to tune into our bodies, to listen to our bodies. What are our bodies asking for? What does our body need from us in the way of nutrition, in the way of activity, in the way of downtime, in the way of prayer and meditation, breath work? What is your body needing from you at this time? This is, again, a sacral and solar plexus chakra. I'm feeling strongly here. And this is like things opening up. It feels like the more that you are able to relax and take your time, the more powerful you become. And when we become powerful, power is not about aggression and dominance. Power is about standing on our own 2 feet, standing confidently in our light, our truth, our divinity, right? And this is beautiful. And as you gain confidence over the coming 3.5 weeks, there's going to be, I feel like, a passion, awakening, an opening that takes place within you, and it gives you this new, it's like a breath of life is what I'm seeing. It's like you're breathing life into your experience, and you're welcoming in what's new through the clearing away of the mindset that there's a finish line. There really isn't a finish line for the eternal soul. There's definitely a finish line for the physical body, and we all know that. When it comes to the soul, though, the soul is eternal. So it's just, various stages of transition that we move through, from birth to death to rebirth. It's just a series of stages, phases, cycles, and transitions. So higher self guidance for you. Oh, this is perfect. I mean, I love when the cards just confirm everything that's been said. This is number 2, self-renewal. 2 to me is always that high priestess, that medicine man or woman energy, always speaks about standing on our own 2 feet. And when we do, and when we take time for this self-renewal, when we take time for this inner journeying, which is, if we don't do it any other time than Mercury retrograde, then we've done it enough. And the inner journey really supports all this new growth, all these new creative ideas coming to life, to, waking us up. Again, I'm feeling a lot of healing energy in here, and it's like there's a lot of emotions coming up for you in the coming weeks, I feel. And yet, in the midst of all the emotions, look how centered and calm this goddess looks. She looks very content and in a really, really, really happy place. So getting out to nature, this is another message for you. Getting to nature is going to support your renewal. It's going, nature is the cure-all medicine that, our soul really longs for, is that natural medicine, that natural ease that nature just reflects for us, of just easily moving from one cycle to the next with very little resistance. And it says, as I clean out old energies, I have more space for that which wants to be birthed into my life. And I believe Mercury goes direct on the day that we get a Virgo full moon. I'm so excited about that one. And, so this really is a good time to start, if you will, cleaning out the inner closets, clearing out the clutter, so that when we're on the other side of this, or just as we come to the other side of this Mercury retrograde with that full moon in Virgo energy, we're clearing it all out, so we can bring all the new in. And then again, it's this continual process of welcoming and releasing. And finally, this card feels totally Archangel Michael to me every time I connect with this card. So know that Archangel Michael walks with you and encourages you to honor, speak, and accept your truth. And if to nobody else, or for no one else, for yourself. And this message is, you are a living work of art, a most sacred and eternal being, a multi-dimensional field of energy with no beginning or end. You are a floating island of consciousness, swimming within a cosmic sea of love. Live the dream, dare to be extraordinary, because you are. And these are very beautiful messages. I'm really loving them. I hope that they have supported you too. I wish you all an abundantly blessed Mercury retrograde through the month of March, right until the spring equinox. I have a number of specials going on. So we have Magdalene dragging messages for $55. We have chakra tune-ups check-ins. Just see what's going on, and those are $88. And for $77, we have some soul messages. So if you're interested in any of those, don't hesitate to send me an email. I can't post PayPal links in the comments below, but if you want one of those services, there is a donate button at the top of the page, and you can go up, click on that, and then enter the dollar amount for the offering after it, and that way we can book your appointment. So I'm looking forward to connecting with some of you over the coming month, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all your subscribes, your comments, your likes. They greatly support me, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Until next time, take good care of yourself. I see you, I feel you, I love you.